Welcome to Roots Healthcare TV. So today I want to go through the Medication Administration Record Sheet, otherwise known as the Mars chart. Those of you that are existing staff already will be aware that we changed over the weekly Mars chart to the monthly back in February. I'm sure you'll all agree, but this has been a huge success, and also through feedback and evaluation we have implemented a few more tweaks, which is what I'm going to go through today. So I'm going to go through the Mars charts from the very start to the end, and I'm going to point out those differences as we go along. So let's get started. Before I go through the Mars chart step by step, I do want to do a transcribing demonstration. Now, as you can see, we do have an example at the top. Every box will require the medication name, the strength, the dose, the frequency, and any special instructions, i.e. at bedtime, in the morning, with food, and so on. If I am to transcribe, I must be using black pen and also capital letters to make sure that it is as legible as possible. So I'm going to have a go at transcribing now. So as you can see, I do have the medication next to me, which is the atorvastatin. That clearly states to take one tablet twice daily, and it's a 20 milligram tablet. So I'm going to transcribe exactly that. I must be professionally copying from what is on that label to my Mars chart. If I change it, then I am officially prescribing, which I'm not qualified to do. So I'm going to copy it as it is. So it's atorvastatin. That's a 20 milligram tablet, and that's one to be taken twice daily. It's also asking for the route, and that is on my bottle, and it states that that is an oral tablet. It is as simple as that. It must be crystal clear and copied exactly from the prescription onto the Mars chart. Your Mars chart will comprise of 4 different sections. So starting off with section 1, that is for your blister pack. I know this because it does state on the top of the page, medication pre-packed by pharmacy. We will find this on page 2. Turning over onto page 4, we will see section 2, which is for boxes and bottles. So any medication that isn't in your blister pack and isn't PRN. So again, turning over onto page 8, we will find section 3, which is for your topical preparations. Those of you existing staff will realise that this is a new part to the Mars chart. Now going on to page 12, we will see that we've got section 4, which is your PRN section, and that is for as and when required medication. So the front page of the Mars chart is very self-explanatory. However, I will quickly go through it. On the top left-hand corner, you will see that it says Mars sheet _of_. That's in regards to how many Mars charts our client has in place. Most of the time, it will be 1. However, we do have clients with 2, maybe even 3. Now, in regards to John Doe, the client that we're going to be talking about today, he has 1 Mars chart, so it will be Mars sheet 1 of 1. Now, as you can see to the side of me, I do have John Doe's prescription. So I will be using that information to fill out the front part. So his name, John Doe. As you can see, I'm using black pen and also capital letters. His birth, that would be the 6th of April, 1966. And the client's address, 123 Chelsea Avenue, etc. Now, in regards to the allergies, it does state on his information that I have here that he has none known. So I can't put NA, like so, because it is still applicable. So I have to put the exact same, which is non-known. Now, in regards to any further comment, this is something that your carers will need to know in regards to a medication. So this could be if somebody's on a controlled drug, or if somebody's on a dangerous medication, i.e. warfarin, or even a once weekly medication, i.e. alendronic acid. In fact, we will use that as an example here. So I would need to put, in regards to this med, alendronic acid to be taken once weekly on a Thursday morning. This could be anything from must have food half an hour before or no food half an hour before, etc. Anything that you think your next colleague is going to need to know. Now, in regards to the support level, you'll see on page 15, it breaks down the 3 levels nice and simple. So level 1 would be the least amount of support that we're going to give that person. So they would be in full control of their medication. However, we might just give them a remind or a prompt, or we might even open the bottle for them. Now, level 2. Now, due to the service user's ability or capacity, we would be in full control. So this is when we will be administering the medication. Level 3 would be for anything with further training, i.e. it could be somebody that takes their medication through the peg, and it can also be controlled drugs because there's so many risks involved. Now, I've given you the information here. John Doe is a level 2, and that is down to his capacity. So moving on. Medication pre-packed by pharmacy. As discussed earlier, we know that this is our blister pack information, and this would be under section 1. I've put out an example of a blister pack, and what we're going to do is we're going to transcribe every single medication that is in that blister pack onto our Mars chart. Each medication deserves its own box, like so. As you can see, we've made a little example for you, and we need to put down the medication name, strength, dose, frequency, special instructions, i.e. at bedtime or in the morning, and then also the route. Now, once you've filled out the Mars chart, you will scroll down to the bottom and you will see that it says morning, lunch, tea, bed, and the number of tablets for that time of the day. Now, from the information that we've got there, we can clearly see that John Doe has 3 tablets in the morning and 3 tablets at bedtime. Once your Mars chart has been filled out, it should look like this. And as you can see, I've transcribed exactly what is from the prescription onto my Mars chart. Section 2 is fairly straightforward. As you can see, we've got the client's name at the top, and then we've got the box where we're going to transcribe the medication. We've got the route, and then also you can assign once you've filled out that box. The time boxes are in regards to when that person would have their medication. If it states on the prescription they have their tablet morning and bed, you are going to put morning and bed. If it's only in the morning, you will only fill out the morning box. Now, as an example, I've got one filled out here. So we've got the amoxicillin 500 mg capsule, and that is taken twice daily. It doesn't state whether they have it at morning or bed or tea. So what we're going to do is we're going to have that tablet as far apart as possible. So we're going to have it in the morning and at the bedtime. Now, when I was filling out the Mars chart, I signed for this one. However, halfway through the month, the client has been given other medication. And it's my colleague Sarah that was on the run at that time. So she has signed this box here, which means that she is liable for that box alone, whereas I'm liable for the rest of the Mars chart. So moving on to section 3. On page 8, you will see section 3, which will be our topical medicines record sheet. This used to be separate, but it is now included, which will make our lives a lot easier. Again, it's very straightforward. We've got the name at the top, the name of the topical preparation. As you can see, I do have some Medihoney right next to me. I'm going to just type that in, the site of application. Now, as a for instance, our gentleman has a pressure sore on his sacrum. So we're going to use that as a site of application. Has to be applied thinly, and the frequency would be daily. And then what we also need to do is just mark on the body map the site of application as well. So we're doubling up on that information, making sure that nothing is missed. So if I just scroll down again, there we go. And each page will require its own cream or lotion. So you've got 4 of those, so it should be enough. If not, you can just staple in an extra topical Mars chart. Section 4 is for the PRN medication. Any medication which states on the prescription as and when required will be PRN. An example of PRN medication would be for myself to take paracetamol if I have a headache. Now, when filling it out, again, self-explanatory. You're going to fill out the client's name, the medication, so that could be paracetamol, ibuprofen, cocodamol, and that could be for pain relief. So we would put in this box whether it be for a poorly knee or a headache or just general pain relief. And then the route and transcribed by. So again, I do have a filled out one here. So paracetamol, 500 milligrams, take 2 tablets up to 4 times daily as and when required. Again, it's that as and when required, which is ringing out PRN to me at the moment. And then the client's name is the only thing that's missing. Oral, H. Robinson, that's me signing, and that's for his headaches. Once you've completed your mouse chart, the chances are that you will be administering the medication. So you're going to have to fill out the signature log on the back. Now this is so we have a paper trail for who has been administering that medication, as when you sign in that you've administered, you are putting your initials and the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my name, Helen Robinson, and my initials, which is HR, position, healthcare assistant, the date, 4th of December, and my signature. Easy peasy. You will notice the coded section on part of the mouse chart on the bottom of most of the pages. So very self-explanatory, R for refused, F for family, V for vomited, etc. Now those existing staff will notice that we've got a new sign, which is Z for return to sign. Now this is for the very, very, very rare occasion that you may, for whatever reason, you may have forgotten to sign that you've administered some medication. Now, once that's been investigated and we know that that medication has been administered, you will return to the property and you will put a Z in that place where you should have signed earlier. Now, the other change that we've made is on the not witnessed. It used to be NW, we've just changed it to N, just so that it can't get mixed up with anybody's initials. Now, if you are to refuse somebody's medication, if I just flip over, let's say somebody requires lactulose daily. So on the prescription, lactulose, take twice daily in the morning and at bedtime. Let's say we've gone in the morning, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, and he's had loose bowels all night. So there's no way that he wants that lactulose. So all we're going to do is put an R in that box for refused. I don't need to put the time or anything like that because I'm now going to elaborate on page 14. So I'm going to put the date, which is the 4th of December 2018, and the time 7 in the morning, using the 24-hour clock as always, and then I'm going to put the R in the box. The reason support was not provided as planned. Now I know that's because he's got loose bowels, and it's me, and then all I need to do is sign. H. Robin. Brilliant. So very straightforward. It's just a perfect paper trail. It tells a story as to what happened with that medication, if they've not taken it, had they vomited, has family given it, have they refused it, etc.
Thank you for watching Roots Healthcare TV. Moving and handling coming to a cinema soon near you.